What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of This About That. This is episode 19. Tyler, how are we doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just taking it all in this terrible Monday after the Raiders got their asses kicked again. But we're hanging in there. We are hanging in there. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. There is just no hopes with my teams except for Boise State this year, and I'm hoping to God that they get it done. And just show me the light at the end of the tunnel because, Oklahoma yet again got embarrassed. The Niners yet again got embarrassed. It's been a tough weekend for sports. A lot of good stuff in sports, though. A lot of good games in the college football realm and the MLB realm, which we're going to be going into first. So we have the two teams that are headed into the World Series, ladies and gentlemen. For all you people that are MLB fans, I'm talking to you, Keith. Yankees versus Dodgers. I think this is just a picture perfect World Series. Two very historic ball clubs, and they got a lot of talent to offer. But the one guy that is standing out to me, and I don't watch a lot of baseball, but I watched the last game that the Yankees had before they moved on to play the Dodgers, and Juan Soto comes to mind. Now that guy is unreal. I wouldn't say he single-handedly carried the Yankees to the World Series, but he had a huge part in getting them there. And he's a big part of that offense alongside with Aaron Judge. And I think, honestly, the Yankees are going to win it all. I really, really think that they're gonna take it to the Dodgers, and I think they have a little bit too much bat for the Dodgers. And we'll see what their bull. Jesus, just stuttered a bunch. Yeah, wondering what their bullpen's going to do because I believe Clayton Kershaw is out. Is he? So that's a kind of a huge detriment to that bullpen, especially with the Yankees being hot and Juan Soto being on absolute fire. And they need to pay that man a lot of money to keep him. What are your thoughts on the MLB, the World Series? Who do you think is going to win? I don't know if you've watched any of the games.
I watched bits and pieces of the playoffs, and
sure.
I like the Dodgers here. I think that they're a little bit. It's so hard, man. These are two really good teams, and I hate the Yankees so much. I hate them. Oh man, do I hate them?
I think I hate the Dodgers more just because of California. I know that the A's are not directly a rival per se, but the Giants are, and I can't really root for the Dodgers. Not in this situation. But the Yankees
teams that have the giant payrolls and
the giant payrolls, and also, no offense, but the shitty fans. Dodgers and Yankees fans are
Dodgers and Yankees. Dodgers Yankees fans. Yeah, they never they're the reason we need cap space.
Humble them a little bit, and but I think.
Shohei's going to be playing well.
Oh yeah, he's going to be on fire. I think he's going to show up.
Mookie Betts is always.
Oh no,
good.
They don't. They got a good team too, so I think the Yankees
putting it together there, and the Yankees have a good team. I'm a big Giancarlo Stanton fan because in the video games his swing is always super easy for me to hit home runs with, so I always have him on my roster. But that's a little bit of a personal thing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a hell of a World Series. Like I said, I think the Yankees are going to get it done. But just, I don't watch a whole bunch of baseball in the regular season or in the postseason, but I do pay attention a little bit, especially when they get down to that semifinal and going into the World Series. I definitely watch it. So I will be tuning in, and I'm pretty excited to see kind of what's going on there. And I'm hoping the Yankees win that one, and we'll see if Juan Soto is going to stay hot. But moving on. Bronny James of the Los Angeles Lakers. There's been a little bit of buzz around the Lakers.
Terrible.
Yes, his preseason games have not been the greatest. I was checking his stats these last few hours leading up to this episode, and they're not great. There's some games where he's going 0 for 4, 0 for 5.
And he doesn't stop shooting. It's what do you?
Yeah, and I think what he's trying to do, it's oh man, no, people are saying I think he wants to go on his own path and he doesn't want to be I guess under his father's name.
bronze, right? Like that's the hard part. He's in the league right now, in my opinion, based strictly off of his last name. And people can say what they want about that, all that kind of crap, but
I kind of tend to agree. I mean, I watched him at USC, and he played well, but he didn't play well enough for me to be like, yeah, he's ready for the NBA. I didn't think he was ready for the NBA. I think he could have stayed another year, and developed his game a little bit more in the college aspect.
Yep.
But I think it was one of those things where he knew that his dad's time was ticking with his career.
Where did he even play college at?
He played at USC.
That's right.
USC Trojan.
You forget because the dude barely played.
Yeah, he didn't play a whole bunch, and that's the thing is where I agree.
Wasn't impressive, and this is the thing. This is the reason that he is in the NBA right now is because his papa, big man, gets on, is like, oh, wherever my son goes, that's where I'm going to be. Yeah, shit, he got fucking drafted.
I mean, it's kind of a little bit of a player's bias here, and I think I agree with you. I don't think he was good enough to just get drafted on his name alone. I think his dad obviously has a huge part in that. And I think the reason why he's shooting so much is I think he's trying to almost impress his dad a little bit and show him like, oh, I can play with the big boys. I can play with you.
I'll tell you something, Cody.
He's not living up to the hype.
I am quite possibly the worst basketball player I've ever seen myself. If I had a mirror, I'd be the worst basketball player I've ever seen. If you said, hey, you have 100 chances of stopping an NBA player, and I knew one of them was Bronny James, I'd take that. I'd take that action. I would take that action.
Honestly, I would take it too. His career high was actually last Friday. Last Friday, career high. He had 17 points against Golden State and 4 rebounds, and that's the best he's played. Granted, yes, he did play pretty much, I believe, almost not the entire game, but he played close to it. I don't know, man. I don't like to talk down on such a young kid coming in, and I understand he's got a big name to live up to, and I hope he's good. I hope he proves everybody wrong. But as of right now,
my player in 2K when somebody's just testing out the attributes,
yeah, dude. I don't know what his career is going to pan out to. I have high hopes. I'm hoping that he can prove everybody wrong, but it's kind of hard when your dad is arguably one of the, if not the best NBA player ever to live. So that's going to be a tough one for him.
And then his younger brother's way better than him. What's that kid's name? Bryce.
Yeah.
He's actually 6'8". And he actually has some skill. Bronny's just average at best. He should be on a G League contract right now. I do not understand how he's in the NBA. Well,
there's only one reason, like we said, is because his dad. The only reason why he's pulled up, the only reason why he's going to be probably their 6th or 7th man on their roster is because of his dad. If not, he'd be probably an average player in the G League too. I don't really agree with the hype. I do wish good things for him. I hope he proves people wrong. I think that he's too young for the NBA right now. I don't think he's experienced enough, and I don't think he's a good enough player. I think he should have stayed one more year in college.
Speaking of the James family, real quick, have you seen that? I don't know if it's real or not, but that picture that Draymond posted on his story of the LeBron James Hennessy, and it said "ending the day with the king inside me."
No, I didn't see that.
Bro, it is so funny. I'll see if I can pull that up.
Heck yeah.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
Yeah, Jamie. Pull it up, Jamie. But moving on from NBA, we're going to get a little bit into the NFL talk. Like me and Tyler have been discussing in recent episodes, is we're recapping our team and how they played, especially in the NFL standpoint. The 49ers suffered another loss, 28-18 to the Kansas City Chiefs. No shock there. Our team's playing like absolute shit. Ayuk out with an MCL, ACL tear, surgery, all that good stuff. Don't know why, yet again, this goes back to, and people might disagree with me, I think this goes back to the holdout. Wasn't there for camp, not in good shape. I don't know if he got hit or not. It looks like he hyperextended it. I don't know if that was just a freak accident. I'm just pissed off because I'm we paid him all that money, now he's out for the rest of the season. And I almost called this at the beginning, something was going to happen where he was either not going to perform, injury, something. And it's just the Niners' luck this season that happens. Debo, yet again, out. some sickness, pneumonia he got.
Yeah.
Don't know what's going on with that guy.
I'm not your guys'. I'm not a fan of the Niners, and the FBI don't take this seriously. But your guys' strength and conditioning coach needs to be
fired.
Shot.
No, every year, every fucking year, every year.
Is it the same guy?
I don't know who they're bringing in here, dude. I don't get it. I can literally get those guys strong. It's not that hard of a concept. It's really not. And these guys, I don't get it. It's always the Niners. It's always the Niners. And I just don't get it. And the rest of the team, even with the injuries, playing like shit. Purdy played probably the worst game he's ever played. 3 interceptions. He went 17 for 31, 212 yards. That's not bad, but 3 interceptions, that's horrible. Play calling, yet again, arse. Red zone offense, probably the worst I've seen this entire season. I don't know. And at this point, if we lose to the Cowboys, I don't think we make the playoffs this year. I think our team completely falls apart. And shout out to my coworker Chuck, older man at my work. He's keeping the high spirits with the Niners, and I love him to death. But I just think it's getting delusional at this point. And I think yet again, if the Niners lose to the Dallas Cowboys, I truly believe our season's fucking over. It is a horrible year for sports in my household. The only thing that, like I stated in the beginning, the only thing that's keeping me together is Boise State football, and I'm hoping that they can keep the ball rolling. But we'll go into the Raiders here, Tyler. In this last weekend, yep. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it or not, but
I do. I'll go into it.
Sure.
For the Raider fans that watch, it's like that clip from Waterboy when that guy goes, "Oh no, we suck again." But I get to say that every single year, and it's just like there's a arc of being a Raider fan. It's like, here's the off season. You're getting over all the woes from the previous season. You start to build up some anticipation. Mm-hmm. You don't think you're going to be great. You go out there and you win against a team you shouldn't beat, which was the Ravens game this year, which gave me a little bit of hope. False hope. That made me feel like, oh man, maybe we were actually going to do something here.
100%.
Wrong. And Gardner Minshew, I was excited for him this offseason. I thought he played okay.
I was excited too. I thought he played
okay to start the season. A little sloppy. I thought maybe he would get into it. Wrong again. He's awful. Like, I think that when he got benched, he lost all of his confidence. Went out there and threw 3 interceptions after we had to bring him in because Aiden O'Connell broke his thumb. So we get out and we go to the press conferences today and we try to figure out, man, what's the solution? We don't have Aiden O'Connell. Who's going to start a quarterback?
Go to the market.
Gardner mentions a dumpster fire. How are we going to solve this? And they go out and they sign the hero, the savior, Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter. Cincinnati alumni. Had that fame and stardom when they went and played Alabama in the semifinals, and they were like the 4th ranked team in the country. I think they went like 13-1 that season. And I mean, like the hype around him and that Cincinnati team was astronomical. I was really rooting for Cincinnati there, and I just didn't think they had the size there. But Desmond Ritter came out of it, getting drafted pretty high, not really doing much. I don't know. I don't know what type of pickup that is for the Raiders with how the Raiders season is panning out so far. I don't know if it's a good one. I don't know if it's a bad one. Yeah. At least until Aiden O'Connell comes back.
Yeah.
Is my guess. I think he's going to start this weekend against the Chiefs. I don't think we're going to win that game, but it'd be really funny if the Raiders of all teams were the ones to ruin the perfect season. I would love that. But, yeah, we're just we're in a rut again, like this is what happened after Rich Gannon. If you can remember back to 2000,
I know Rich Gannon.
That was, and he was gone, and it was just a revolving door at quarterback until we found the guy. Right. I'm hoping that this draft, it's a sad place to be when you're hoping your team loses and you can't even root for them because you need a draft pick so bad. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm getting there with the Niners. I mean, we're getting slowly closer to that territory of, well, playoffs might be out. My brother made a good point. Why even bring CMC back for playing like this?
Right.
You lose to the Dallas Cowboys. What the fuck is the point? Why bring him back? For what? For what? I mean, this team can't play. They can't even play. They can't even play in the wild card. I mean, you're having a.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's just ridiculous.
Zero incentive to win any more football games other than pride.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to try because
it's coming out of pride, dude.
Job, right, and all this other this, that, and the other. But I mean, at this point, I think Shanahan's trying to keep his job as well. Like,
no, he 100% is. And I said it to my coworker. I was like, if he doesn't win us a Super Bowl this year, which it's not happening, he's gone. He's fired. Fire his ass. I've been saying this for the last few years. You've given this guy too much time to fix his mistakes, and he continues to do what he's doing. And he's on the hot seat right now, and I totally agree. Like, fire him if he doesn't do anything this season. Yeah. And it's really looking that way. So I don't know for the 49ers or the Raiders. It's just looking real dark right now. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. But in other NFL news, Davante Adams, former Raider, signed with the New York Jets and his former teammate Aaron Rodgers.
Now, this did put a smile on my face.
This was funny to me because the man, you see him mic'd up with the Raiders, and he's visibly upset. You're seeing all the videos go viral. He signs this quick deal. He reunites with Aaron Rodgers, thinking it's going to be like Green Bay. Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's not.
Man, the trade. His first choice is the Jets.
The Jets of all people. Why would you go from a team? And no offense, because my team's that there. Why would you go from a team that's bad to another team that's bad? Just because you played with Aaron Rodgers how many seasons ago? Don't know. Aaron's not the same. It's time to hang up the cleats. The man can't even throw a check down anymore.
Right? And that's what I was like. I was thinking.
Why would you go from one losing team to another? For what? For what?
That's what I was thinking too. Like, why would they be your first pick?
I don't get it.
My opinion is, if you know you're going to suck, right? The teams that he was looking at, the Saints, who were starting to tailspin, lost Derek Carr. He was looking at the Jets, the Bills. Those are the teams he's looking at. But he ends up with the Jets. And the way I was looking at it is, if you're going to suck, right? Like, if I knew, let's just use an example. If I knew in my head I was never going to win another video game, right? I was never going to win again in my life. Would I rather lose with a bunch of people I don't know, or would I rather lose with one of my best friends, right? I'd rather just go down with him, like, right? I know I can hang out with Aaron every weekend, and we can have a good time, and we're best friends.
You know Davante was sleeping on his couch. You know that man was in his pocket. Like there's no hiding that.
He was in the guest bedroom.
And I understand that part where it's like, okay, reuniting with an old teammate.
Lose with my buddies than lose with people I don't really get along with.
And yes, and there's a good chance the Jets, go downhill even more this entire season. But I think it's one of those things where I agree with that Davante Adams, and it's like, oh man, I'd rather lose with my best buddy. But I think he's thinking that there's a spark there, like there was in Green Bay, and it's just a completely different team. Like I said before, I just find it hilarious that he goes from one team that's doing bad to another team that's not good. And it's just, you could have signed with a team that was somewhat decent. I mean, most teams would have signed you. You're Davante fucking Adams. Like, you've shown that you've been one of the best receivers year in, year out. Don't know what's happening. I mean, his stats have not been great, but I think it's one of those things where he thinks there's a spark there. He thinks that something could happen from this. And he's thinking Aaron Rodgers is the same Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, which is not the case. The man needs to retire. He can't throw a check down. He can't. I mean, it's over with. It's over with. I think after this season, it's time to hang. He's not Brett Favre. You're not Brett Favre, Aaron. Like, you can't come back at 43, and tear it up and be that physical, tough-nosed quarterback anymore. He just doesn't have it.
You're not.
Yeah, and I respect, dude. I love Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers will go down as one of the greats. I mean, he is a great quarterback, but he was, and he's far from what he was. And I think it is time for him to hang it up. But moving out of the NFL, we're going.
Real quick, I just want to throw this out there. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the NHL and my new team,
Utah,
replacing the mighty, not so mighty Arizona Coyotes that ended up disintegrating upon themselves in an extreme blaze of glory, which was awful. But they are in the Delta Center now up in Salt Lake, and they're actually doing really well.
Yeah.
They're actually tearing it up, dude. I mean, I don't know if you've watched any of their games, but we just beat the Bruins, which was a good game to win and get to talk some shit to Ant. But yeah, man,
Oh yeah,
they're
it's always good to
exciting to
talk
watch,
shit.
dude. I mean, like they're just
Yeah.
fast on offense and they're getting around and just when like they're like, there they lost the puck. Oh, never mind. One of the guys came up and kept it in the offensive zone. Like they're just playing so much in the offensive zone. And they're so fast and like everybody can score. It's just so fun to watch right now. And the hard part about this kind of team, right, is when you get to the playoffs and it's the same problems the Sharks had
if
in
you
like
can rally
2010 to 20 whenever Pavelski left, 2016, I think it was, or something like that. Like those years when they were good, but they'd get to the playoffs and they'd go up against those teams that were like bigger than them and more physical and could just beat them up. That's when they started to fall apart. So like, I don't know. I mean, Utah's still like, they're not a perfect team by any means. We have some injuries we're dealing with, but if they make a playoff run, it's going to be about like, can we beat those bigger, more physical teams like like the Penguins and like the Bruins and you got to win a whole series, right?
Yeah.
So can you beat the Bruins? Can you beat the Penguins? Can you beat New York 7 times, right? We beat them once.
Can they go through a series and come out on top? And I think it's just, with this new hockey club, I think it's just you keep the momentum going. It's a long season. And you just know, okay, we're new. We're going to come out punching. And I think if they keep going the way they're going, yet again, it's a long season. We got a lot of hockey left. But we'll see if they can rally, like you said, and make a playoff run. But I want to bring in
Oh, here we go.
Bring in Sean real quick. Sorry, Sean, to pop. I saw that. I don't know if this is a super serious thing, but Macklin Celebrini, is he out or what's the status on him? I know I read something about a day ago saying that he's been out and he's out for the next few weeks. I don't know if that's a big time injury, but if you wanted to kind of maybe clear the air on that or update us.
I haven't. We haven't been able to do the hockey podcast because Guy's been figuring out with his school, but I've got a new co-host coming next week. You guys will see.
Nice.
He has a big nose and a big heart.
Yes. I know. Here we go.
Yeah. But anyways, Macklin is hurt. He's been they still haven't said what exactly it is. I'm hearing that it's a hip injury though.
Okay.
And he's going to be out for another 2 weeks.
I was kind of assuming like hip or lower body.
Yeah. They're not going to update, or we won't know. They'll have an update in 2 weeks on what his injury status is. I think that first game he kind of was playing through some sort of injury. They just, I think, wanted him and Smith to be playing together. So I don't know. I think it's going to be tough for him to do any like Calder to win the Calder this year. I mean, we'll see how long if this injury lasts all season. I mean, he won't be a rookie this year. He'll be a rookie next year. But the Sharks are still on the struggle bus, which I could have guessed. But
and Utah lost Sean Dursey, which I think is just as big of a loss. 5 to 6 months.
I mean, in all honesty, like Macklin is not. He's not going to turn that team around. Like, there's so much wrong with.
You got a lot of building to do. You guys are aware.
He's definitely a piece.
When they drafted Keller. Not that Macklin's the same level as Keller, but in the same. You guys are in the same part of the rebuild.
No, exactly.
He's an important piece to the puzzle.
He is, and it's a very early stage of this rebuild. And Will Smith struggling, but I think it's tough to I think it's just tough for these young guys to play with some of the players they're playing with. The first line on the Sharks with Toffoli and Eklund, I think Celebrini fit in well there, but outside of that, this team is really not special at all. So, that's just how it is. I was kind of hopeful for this season, a little more offense I was hoping for, but we have not. I don't think we've scored past 4 goals since the first game. So it's been a rough couple games, but that's hockey.
Yeah, long season.
I think Montreal, Lane Hudson. I think he's going to win.
I was watching last week, and dude, he made this insane move. I think we were both watching, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And he was able to get kind of a muffin shot off. But I was talking to Ann a little bit about it. I think Montreal's still a little ways away from making anything in the playoffs. I think just our division's pretty tough. It's just like we're normally always sitting at least last or second to last. But I think, like I said, I like our roster. I like the guys that we have. It just seems like we have like good pieces. We have good lines. It's just getting it all together in one and playing consistent. That's the name of the game. And I think we're still a few years from seeing that. But Lane Hudson, I mean, that guy's he's pretty unbelievable. And I like how he gets, at least the games that I've watched or have tuned into, just how he's being involved on the offensive side. And I always like seeing defenders do that. So we'll see what happens. But like Utah, I saw this meme. I was telling Sean, it was like this bubble, like all the NHL teams, and then it's like the little attachment on a little bubble. It's like teams that have lost to Utah Hockey Club, teams that have not, and they just keep adding more and more and more. And I'm just like, God, this is so funny. And I don't know who they lost to first, but I'm like, oh, imagine being the first team to lose to a new club like that.
It was Chicago.
Who was it? Chicago. That's right. The Blackhawks.
It was Chicago. Then it was the Rangers. Then it was the Islanders, and then they lost to the Devils, and then they lost to the Ducks.
Yeah. Dude, Dylan Gunther, too. I think he's another dark horse for the Calder.
We were talking about him a little bit a few episodes ago.
He has a shot and a half.
So that I was going to ask that. Wasn't planning on doing it on this episode, but we're going to ask it anyway. Is he technically a rookie? But he played, I think, a good amount of games last year.
Let's see.
Yeah, because it's like once they get drafted out of college or wherever, like they're able to play on like I don't know if it's a rookie contract or is it like a call, like where they get called up for a certain amount of games, or I don't know how that works because I do remember watching him. I was like, man, that kid's pretty young.
So I want to say it depends. He played in juniors, I want to say,
or was it juniors? Yeah,
in Canada, yeah. So he has to. Okay, he's not a rookie anymore, actually.
Yeah,
because he has 84 total games played. I want to say if a player plays more than 13 regular season games, then he's no longer a rookie. There's like a certain number for like the season that if they don't break that number, then they're still a rookie or they're eligible to be a rookie the next season. Since he already has 84 games played, he's not a rookie. I thought he was.
So I think it's like, oh God, what is it? I think it's 13 or 23 because I remember this because I was reading something about the last 4 players who don't wear a shield on their helmet. Yep. And they had to have played X amount of games prior to the rule to not be exempt from it. So it was only rookies who were. So I think you're right.
So I think with the face, it was like a grandfather. Like they got grandfathered in. Like if you didn't wear a visor before they set the rule a couple years ago, then
2013.
Yeah, then you have access, or you're able to not wear it. But now there's only 4 players left that don't wear a visor, and then it'll be a dying breed. It won't be anyone else. It's kind of crazy. Honestly, ballsy to not wear a visor playing hockey.
Yeah, it is, dude. I was just like, dude, you take a slap shot to the fucking face. I mean, Crosby took one, his rookie year or his second year or something. I was like, dude, that just like, there's just that has to be one of the most painful things to go through in sports. Yeah. Like bare face. I mean, I took a puck to the fucking knee when I was 12 and I was down for the count for fucking an hour, dude. That shit hurt so fucking bad. And that was I was 12. Yeah. It's kind of a soft move by myself, but my damn pad slid off my knee.
Yeah, no doubt.
Richard Long would never.
Yeah, he would only interfere with somebody and take 800 penalty minutes.
I got high sticked in the face. Remember that by my brother? We were playing just like pickup, and I was wearing a visor, and I think I kind of tripped him, and his stick just flew up and smacked me right in the mouth. I had a fat lip for like a couple days. We went to a bar, and this bouncer was like, "You got your fucking ass beat." I was like, "No, I didn't."
Was it the one in Silly Birch that just?
Nope. It was off the clock. So.
Oh yeah. Our favorite.
Yeah. Our bar.
Yeah.
The Culture Bar. Yeah.
Kate's favorite. Exactly what you guys are talking favorite about. with the DoorDash.
Yep.
Totally, guys.
Yeah, Tyler knows what we're talking about. But moving on from the NHL, we're going to get into a little bit of college football talk. I just want to go over Oklahoma real quick. Oklahoma is said to start Jackson Arnold yet again this weekend against Ole Miss. I am so angry with Oklahoma football right now. And it's so frustrating because it's like you think Jackson Arnold's the guy, and we spoke about this in other podcasts, and he comes out and plays the way he did with his first SEC start against Tennessee, and I broke my fucking phone. Phone screen shattered. I don't know if you can see that, but it's fucking shattered. It's shattered. There it is.
Why?
I was at the bar, and Sean was there, or maybe I don't know if he witnessed me throwing. I did. And Jackson Arnold throws a pick, fumbles. I mean, he turned over the ball every which way. And I grabbed my phone, and I slammed it down as hard as I could on the table. I scared the poor lady next to me. I know I've covered it in the –
Everyone at the bar looked at him.
But this is
Everyone
just –
at the bar looked at him.
Yeah, this is just it's bringing it full circle now. We start Michael Hawkins Jr., a very, very talented freshman on the legs, but just did not have the arm, the timing, and really just the pocket awareness. And we just got killed by South Carolina. Like, I think it was like 36-9. And now we're going into a game with Ole Miss, which Ole Miss is not that great. Ole Miss has kind of been on the struggle bus a little bit. I don't know if it's going to be a good game. I'm just like, okay, now we're starting this kid again. He's getting a shot. He's getting a shot yet again to show what he can do. And I don't know if he's just going to soil himself like he did against Tennessee, or if he's going to rise to the challenge and beat an Ole Miss team that's had some tough games the last few weeks. All I can hope for with Oklahoma is that we make it to a bowl game. That's it. Because the Niners are not making – they like I said before, they lose. They're not making it. Boise State, I need my boys to win out to give me some sort of light and make the playoffs. Oklahoma, I'm just hoping for a Cheez-It Bowl against somebody. 6-6 Cheez-It Bowl against Colorado State. I don't fucking know. Something. Because, dude, it's embarrassing. I mean, losing to South Carolina like we did, now we're going and playing Ole Miss. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. But I just kind of wanted to share that, we're starting Jackson Arnold again, and don't know if that's the right move. Moving into some other teams, Georgia hands Texas their first loss of the season. Texas lost 30-15. I think this was kind of the first, welcome to the SEC moment for Texas. I think up until this point, Texas had a very cupcake schedule. I know the fans are probably not going to like that statement coming from an Oklahoma fan, but I'm keeping it real. Texas, I just think it's one of those teams where I think they still can rally and they can still be a good team. I still think they can make the SEC championship. I don't think a loss just from Georgia, being Georgia, is going to kill them for the rest of the season. I just think they looked flat in areas, and Georgia capitalized on a lot of their mistakes and kind of showed them that this is the SEC. There's no slouch. In Austin, I believe those fans were pissed off. I remember them throwing water bottles on the field, which was a complete classless act in my opinion. I think it was absolute bullshit. I think it's just shows you how bad of a fan base, in my opinion, that Texas are. They're just spoiled little brats, and they get to the SEC.
It was
an interception called back, and then they reversed it again. But they started throwing water bottles on the field.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
it was like, you guys have just set a precedent in the SEC that if you throw shit on the field, you can get a call reversed.
Yeah, and it's just like Texas fans, they're just so spoiled and have had it good in the Big 12 alongside Oklahoma. But this is not the Big 12 anymore. The Big 12 was an offensive-heavy conference. We were in a conference where the best of the best are playing, and they can play defense and they can play offense. And I think this was just, like I said before, Texas is first welcome to the SEC. I think they can rally. I think they make it to the SEC championship. I think they lose the SEC championship. But like I said, this was kind of a wake-up call for Texas, and I'm kind of, we're going to see what happens here. Moving on, Alabama.
Real quick, talk about Michigan.
Yeah.
Their season's over.
Oh, yeah,
and 100%. It's pretty much just going through the motion at this point. They're not.
USC season's over too, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, they might. Michigan State. They might. They're definitely losing to Oregon.
They don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback.
Oregon's number one ranked now, which is crazy.
Yep.
But the real big game of the season for me, Michigan versus Indiana.
And Indiana is so fucking good, dude.
And I think you know why this is a big game.
Oh, I know why it's a big game. this is the thing. Indiana, they brought in that coach who has that winning record.
Wait, hold on. I need you to tell me why you think this is a big game real quick.
Because Indiana is
wrong. Because me and you have $20 on this game. You might have forgotten.
Oh, we do. We do have $20 on this game. Holy shit, dude! I totally forgot.
Yeah.
Oh my
you
god!
Told me at the beginning of the season, Michigan might not even beat Indiana. I said, I'll put any amount of money you want to put on that. You should have gone to $1,000. I would have said
because
yes.
I believe in Indiana, even though that they are the team that they are now, being undefeated still.
And I said there is no way that Michigan loses to Indiana. And now that is my Super Bowl this year.
And I'm going to keep it a buck. I said this because I've always been kind of a sneaky Indiana follower. I've always followed their program because they're always that team like Purdue where they go in and Purdue didn't do it against Oregon. But they're the team where if somebody comes in like Ohio State, a ranked Penn State, Michigan, and they fucking lose. And now Indiana is 6-0. They have I believe he's top 10 in the Heisman finalist. He did get hurt. Their quarterback.
You probably should have put some money on this.
I know. I probably should have. But I did not think that Michigan was going to be this bad. I will admit that now.
They were going to just get carried by the run game, and I thought the quarterback was going to make the throws he had to make. I thought they were going to be in a similar situation to what Boise is right now.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be very similar. That they were going to run the rock down everybody's throat, and that the quarterbacks were just going to step up when they had to.
Yeah,
that is not happening.
and Indiana's good. So now it's one of those things where it's like, okay, it actually could happen in a way that it's like Indiana is just as good or a better team than Michigan, not just because they're like the dark horse and they beat teams that come in ranked all the time.
Oh, they're for sure a better team than Michigan at this point.
Indiana, I mean, they have a not Heisman finalist. He's top 10. He's lighting it up. They just beat Nebraska 56-7. I mean, Indiana's legit, and I think they're gonna make it to the Big Ten championship. And honestly, I think they're gonna be a dark horse in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Another team that I want to cover a little bit, Alabama. They lost again. They lost in Neyland. I've been to that stadium. Man, that is a tough place to play, probably the toughest place to play in the country. And they lost again. I think Alabama is looking completely lost. We just saw that the Paul Feinbaum clip. These fans are about to throw poop in what's his face's mailbox, light it on fire, dead animal on the porch. It's coming. Alabama should not be losing this many games. I'm telling you right now, they're getting close to getting bumped out of the playoff contention. If they lose once or maybe again,
you can't make the playoffs this year.
If they lose 4 times, they're completely done. But if they lose 3 times, and you're talking another 3 or 4 teams, and they still could make it because they might throw 5 or 6 teams in there. But I mean, dude, you start getting to that 4-5 loss column. I think the 4 column, like you're like, I don't know about Alabama here, and I mean, dude, like it's bad. I mean, Indiana's ranked over Alabama right now in the top 25. They are ranked. I don't remember the last time Indiana was ranked over Alabama, besides basketball, ever. Like this is completely shocking to me. And I mean, like I said, Alabama's cutthroat, dude. I mean, they're so used to having Saban. Now that you bring in this guy from Washington, and he's losing a few games. He's having some close ones with some other teams that they really shouldn't be. That's the SEC for you, and it's going to eat you up and spit you out. I think, like I said, you start getting towards that dangerous 4 and 5 loss, and I don't think Alabama makes the playoffs. I think they're very, very close to flying too close to the sun and ruining their season here. But that's my opinion on that game. One other team and game that I kind of want to go over, and this will probably close it out, is BYU. They are legit. They are legit. They're number 13th in the country. They are 7-0, and they just had an absolute barn burner of a game against Oklahoma State. They won 35-38. I mean, they're both BYU's run game and pass game is on fire. In that game, their running back LJ Martin, just from my notes here, had 20 carries, 120 yards, and 2 TDs. Absolute phenomenal game from their running back. And then the real winner here is their wide receiver, Darius Lussiter, had the game-winning catch against
6 catches for 130.
Yeah, 6 catches, 130, 1 TD, and that TD is what mattered. He won the game. He called game with that game-winning touchdown. And I'm going to tell you what, BYU is going to win the Big 12, and I think they're going to be that team that nobody is going to want to see. I think they're on fire. They're still undefeated. They have that under their belt. They're playing explosive on both sides of the ball. And I really don't think any team in the nation wants to see BYU because
and talk about just an
how they're
absolutely
playing.
money stadium.
Oh, their stadium's so nice.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
so
dude.
nice. And it's such a atmosphere, dude. That place gets fucking rocking, especially with the ranking that they are now.
Dude,
I mean, that it's
Storm and
just
Mormons love that place, man.
oh, dude. I mean, that they just had the number one recruit in the nation visit that stadium for a game, and people are like, I don't know if he's going to cite him. I mean, he could. NIL deals, the money that they're raising, them being ranked 7-0 in the Big 12, in contention of making playoffs every year. I mean, what
Think about
a guy, a 5-star, he's going to
playoff trip this year does for them.
Yeah, boost everything for them. I mean, they could land that kid, and that kid can immediately start.
And I've complained about the 12-team playoff and stuff like that and the NIL stuff, but this is where I think it gets somewhat decent and somewhat tolerable, is when you have these teams previously that would have never made it. I'll go to an example. UCF a couple years ago, the Golden Knights were like undefeated. Everybody said, this is a good football team. They should make the playoffs. Nope. Wouldn't do it. And this is where like they definitely would have made the 12 team.
Oh, 100%.
Right. And that's where it's like, that's where I'm like, man, this is the good stuff right here, is when a team that has never really had a long sustained amount of success can start to put together these teams and get the money that they need and bring in these top prospects. Right. And like, that's where it's going to start to get good.
Yeah, I totally agree, dude. I love the 12-team playoffs. I love everything about it. I'm a small, besides the teams that I have, I'm a small school. I'm always rooting for the underdog, and I love to see teams that are going to make it the playoffs that don't normally do it. It provides a fire under their belt. It provides it's just fun. It provides fire under that team's belt. It provides more recruiting, money, stadium sellouts. I mean, it just does so many wonders for so many teams that don't normally get to see the spotlight. And I'm very, very excited to see how these 12-team playoff pans out and see what teams are going to make it. But dude, watch out. Everybody in the Big 12 should be scared right now. Every team in the nation should be scared from BYU, especially with their performance this last weekend against Oklahoma State. Yes, it was a close one, but that's what you want. And I think BYU is legit, and I really don't think any team is going to want to see them. But with that being said, I believe that is all we have to cover today. Like we said before, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, follow, subscribe, share, go on our website and buy some merch. Comment if you guys have any topics that you'd like us to cover in next week's episode, future episodes, whatever episode. Let us know. We're happy to look at that, and we're always looking for other things to talk about.
We could do it.
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.